This episode is about making bagels. I'm from New York, and there's bagel places all over the place. Except here, there's none. They got these round breads with holes in them that they call bagels, but they're not bagels. Everybody blames the water. I don't know why. I needed to find out for myself. Is it the water, or is it the people making the bagels? So today, this Tuesday, I'm making bagels my way. First, I'm gonna take active dry yeast and sugar. We need to feed the yeast in order for it to bloom. Warm water. This is warm water right out of the tap that Floridians drink from. Some of you have filtered, some of you don't. This is a filtered water right out of the tap. And we're gonna put it into the yeast and sugar, and we're gonna mix it up with our fingers or finger, and we're gonna let this bloom. What happens is the yeast is gonna come alive. Like Halloween, the dead come alive. It feeds on the sugar and it creates these bubbles which have alcohol in them. We're then gonna use a mixture of high gluten flour, which is a bread flour, and the other half is going to be all-purpose flour, which is what you make cakes with and all that other good stuff, dusting things, breading things. But first, we need to let our yeast bloom. So now, this is about 4 or 5 minutes in. We have our warm water, our yeast, our sugar, and as you can see, the yeast has bloomed. It has come alive. So now we're gonna add our flours to it. First, I'm gonna add the high gluten flour. The high gluten flour, it's gonna allow this thing to rise up. All-purpose flour is gonna give it a little stability. I like mixing it with my hands, put it on a glove, mix it up. See how it's starting to come together? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna cover it in plastic wrap now, and then we're gonna proof it. Proof it means we're going to let the glutens and the yeast and the water, everything come together, and it's gonna rise up. Once it rises, we're gonna punch it down again and let it rise again. We're actually gonna form the bagel dough. Make sure you cover the whole bowl, or else this dough is gonna rise up out of it. All right, so we got it nice, covered in plastic. Now I'm gonna put it in a warm, dry space. Above my oven seems to be the best way to go. Take off the plastic. See how it's nice and bubbly? That's all from the high gluten flour, the yeast, and the sugar. It's all bubbly, and that's gonna give us that airy, fluffy inside of the bagel. So I'm just gonna dip my fingers in flour with gloves on, and then I'm gonna punch it down. Punching it down means I'm gonna release the air from it so that we can create another dough to proof. I'm gonna cover it in plastic again and put it in the fridge. That's gonna be an overnight process, but lucky for you, I already have some done. This is what our bagel dough is gonna look like after it's been proofed in the fridge overnight. See, nice and glutinous and airy and delicious. Now, let's make the bagels. We're gonna take a nice chunk of dough. We're gonna take some flour, put it on our surface, and then we're gonna roll it out. We're gonna roll it out. Roll it out, roll it out, roll it out. Don't press on it too hard because you don't want to release that air that we have spent 2 days to put into it. So we're gonna roll them out gently. We're gonna cut it in half. See that elasticity? That's what we're looking for. And then we're gonna form our bagels. What you're gonna do is basically just tie a knot, and then Do the same thing with the other one. And then this is the most important part. Before we bake it, we have to boil it. So again, I wanted to find out if it was the water or the people making it. So I took regular Florida tap water that's been filtered, the same drinking water, and when I bring it to a boil, we're gonna put our dough right into the water. And what this is gonna do is we're gonna cook the bagels, sort of boil the bagels right before it's time to put them in the oven. So this is gonna cook the inside of it, and then we're gonna cook the rest of it in my pizza oven, because I have a deck. It's a stone on the bottom of it. That's gonna give us that nice crunchy chewy that we're looking for. So I wanna flip it over. What we're doing now, the water on the outside, cooking the bagels, that's gonna help us form that beautiful, nice crust on the outside of that bagel. So today, I decided to make an everything bagel. So I have what the ingredients are in an everything bagel: onions, garlic, salt, caraway, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, bagels. You don't know how excited I am right now. They were small when we put them in, and then our bagels doubled in size. That's what we're looking for. That's gonna take what? What'd it take, like 10 minutes? So now we're gonna take the bagels out of the water, dry them off, and then put them right into the everything. Just one side. I have a piece of parchment paper, non-sticky spray. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, it's hot. Take a little bit more of that everything crust, and now we're going into the oven. I can't tell you how excited I am. Let's go take a look at my bagels. The fucking bagels. Look at that. Woo-hoo, New York bagels in Florida. Who'd have thunk that? Me, I would have thought about it. The best thing to go with bagels on a Sunday morning, smoked salmon and cream cheese. Look at that. If that doesn't say Sunday morning to you, nothing will. Fucking bagels, B.